What's good, party people? This is Voodoo in the Woods. I'm According to Woods, and he is former U of MMA champion Pius Inala Lobo, better known as Maxima. And holy crap, what a year that 2022 has been in combat sports. Like, literally, we've had Tony Ferguson getting knocked out, Joanna Jędrzejczyk get smashed and
Get
sent into
retired.
into retirement. Uh, Amanda Nunes gaining back the 135-pound title. Uh, Glover Teixeira basically winning the title, losing it to Yuri Prohashka, and essentially Yuri goes out like crazy injury. And my goodness, it's been a wild year. And Micmac says, "Happy old year." Looks cold there. It's California
Always.
cold. It's California cold for sure. But before we get too much into it, unfortunately, as we advance in combat combat sports, our lives, unfortunately, we lose some valuable members in our community, and right off the bat, we want to kind of send our condolences to the family who lost loved ones. But actually, just today, Pele, soccer great, and why it's important to remember Pele is because there is so many a move, a kick in MMA that is related to Pele. So thoughts on Pele?
Hey man, Pele. When I was a kid, I remember Pele bringing the world together. Anytime he played, the world came together. Kind of like when the world came together after 9/11, how America came together. That's what happens when Pele plays. The world comes together, and for that moment that he's playing, he brought peace. He was that kind of dude, and a legend, icon, revolutionary. The list goes on to describe this man. Um, he was a godsend, and he will be missed.
Not just Pele, right? But we also
Not just
have,
Pele.
unfortunately, a Russian regional fighter who died of poisoning. But his name is Alexander Pizarev, and he was only 33. And mysterious illness befell him, and he's no longer with us. So we extend our condolences that way. Now, coming around to the mainstream MMA kind of contingent, Elias Theodora, the Spartan, he was important. He was just a fun dude. He brought Canadian MMA and not just Canadian MMA, but like the Ultimate Fighter, international seasons. That's how a lot of people became abreast of Elias Theodora. Always kept it fun, always kept it funky. In addition to fighting in the UFC, he was a major advocate in the equality of MMA. He was actually a ring boy, right? A ring card guy for Invicta Fighting Championships because he was like, hey, like somebody said, hey, it's kind of sexist that we have like women, and especially in an all female promotion and the
Hmm.
premier female promotion in Invicta, we need we need representation. And he was like, I'll answer the call. And Elias Theodora, he might have been easy on the eyes and the perfect person to kind of fill in for that. And just an incredible human being and an advocate for psychedelic usage in terms of improving brain memory. It's been a controversial subject in many circles, but he was at the forefront of both cannabis and psychedelic psilocybin to improve your memory. The functions of your brain after CTE and concussion like syndrome. So I mean that's a in that way a legend of the sport.
Yeah, definitely. I got to meet him once in Hollywood at Unbreakable. Nice dude, man. He's very nice human being, easy to be around. Um, Another one gone too soon, man. It's just as time passes, then it's made clear, you know, nothing lasts forever, and we just got to take the time that we have, and we got to use it wisely. Got to use it wisely. This is what I'm learning as time is passing. You know, I just lost a homie too to cancer this year, and I don't know. It changes the way a human lives their life, the way they think, the way they approach time, and they're pretty much their life. The way they approach their life is impacted when someone that passes in such a manner at such a young age. It has no choice but to change you in some way. And I can definitely understand what Theodora's people are going through. You know, it's just it's a part of it's a part of life. It's a part of life.
Oh no, yeah. Unfortunately, that's it. And I mean, kind of bringing it home. You said a homie. Um, I actually Sensei Sean Innes, a coach and leader of Champions MMA, where Darion Chapman, a friend of ours,
Hmm.
trains in the Valley, and Sean. The last time I saw Sean was actually at Bernie Hippolyon's funeral. So we were going to do, we were going to, do a podcast and what have you. And he unfortunately passed away a couple months ago, along with Orlando Sanchez, who, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu black belt, had a bunch of area Gracie Baja gyms. He had La Crescenta, I think Pasadena, and at my old job, where when I used to work at this company in Pasadena, man, like he would come in with his kids and whatever, and he was one of those dudes where, like, I rolled with him at Fight Academy during like open mats and everything like that, and but then to see him with his family, just like out and about shopping, was a different dimension. So, our condolences to Orlando Sanchez. Also, I mean, geez, Anthony Rumble Johnson. I think this, much like the Elias Theodoro passing, kind of snuck up on us. We didn't know how bad it was until we basically found out that he passed away. This is somebody who, man, what happens if when a supreme athlete that not even trained in a combat sport, just a super athlete, comes into MMA? What happens? And you basically found out in Anthony Rumble Johnson. He rode that wave to two light heavyweight title contests, one that didn't come to fruition. That was to be of John Jones. And then I think he did two with Daniel Cormier, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Daniel, yeah, the fights with Daniel Cormier. If Daniel wasn't, because I believe John Jones was suspended at the time when he came up on this opportunity. Uh, uh, if Daniel wasn't there, Rumble Johnson would have been heavyweight champion. Most definitely, because he was starching everyone until he ran to Daniel, and Daniel hit him with that wrestling. He almost beat Daniel too. He caught him with some punch. I can't remember which punch it was. He spun him around. I remember him spinning. But uh, Daniel, being the Olympian that he is, he initiated that grappling, and he took that match. But Rumble Johnson, man, first time I saw him, he was fighting out of the 170-pound division. And then when you see him in the ring, he's a smaller dude. But then I remember Joe Rogan was talking about, I just ran into Anthony Johnson. That son bitch is like 230 pounds. I was like, what? And then the legend of Rumble Johnson. Then he went up to heavyweight, and then he came back to 205, and that was the sweet spot right there where he did his work. You know, that's another. Oh, it's so sad that all these wonderful, wonderful addition to humanity are dying so young. But then you have all the evil ones still walking around chilling. You know, it's sad sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, life's a motherfucker in that way. But I mean, not to get too off a subject, but Anthony Rumble Johnson, like literally one of a kind, and
Yeah,
a fighter. When you think about it, right? You've been in fight camps.
right.
He literally fought and won for the second biggest MMA promotion in the world a year before he passed away.
Mhm. Mhm.
And if it wasn't
Mhm.
for I mean, like he was in fight camp. I mean, like what, 3 months before he passed away, something crazy. Within 6 months of
Mhm.
him passing away, he
Mhm.
withdrew from a bout. I think that was a super fight with like Yoel at
Yeah,
205.
he was supposed to fight Yoel Romero, and I believe some kind of a doctor visit alerted him to what was going on, and then he was out indefinitely until the end. You know, he lived a private life until he passed.
And when you think about it, right, that's crazy because the cancer that the Hodgkin's lymphoma that eventually took his life, and Yoel Romero. So literally, you're staring down the pipeline. Whichever way you go, death is almost certain.
Mm.
And he
Yeah,
faced it head on.
he was ready, man. He would have done it too. I think he
Yeah,
could. He could have beat Yoel.
yeah,
I
and
really
that's
believe he could have won because he had fine tuned his breast takedown defense. He had fine tuned it. He just never got another chance at that title, you know. Yeah, but it is what it is.
well again. Salute
He
to
he
Anthony
was
Rumble
great while he
Johnson.
was here.
Yeah, man. I mean, literally great. And as the UFC Hall of Fame comes around, International Fight Week, you gotta imagine,
Most
and
definitely.
even Elias, what he was doing. You could say, oh, not his fight record or whatever, but like they've got wings for people who, you know, like guys like Mark Ratner who
Hmm.
helped usher in the UFC. He's one of the unsung heroes to get,
Hmm.
him coming from boxing and essentially, you know, basically helping MMA along to each what is it state athletic commission across the United States. So there's a place for Elias Theodoro in in the UFC Hall of Fame, if you ask me. But
Yeah.
speaking of UFC Hall of Fame, there are many who try to claim the fact that the sport wouldn't have progressed or wouldn't be as big it is if not for them. And usually it's hyperbole.
Hmm.
And there's a handful of people who basically carry the banner. You could argue, Randy Couture. You could argue Hoist Gracie. You could argue Tito and Chuck. You could argue former UFC light heavyweight champion Forrest Griffin. But another thing that you could pick out of that handful is the one and only UFC Hall of Famer in his own right, Stephen Bonner.
Hmm.
I mean, literally, where would we be if it not for all of those, you know, thousands of people,
Hmm.
millions of people
Hmm.
actually tuning in
Hmm.
to the Ultimate Fighter finale
Hmm.
and seeing this
Yeah.
war? And again,
Yeah.
if you don't get our sport, that's cool. But I trust you to go ahead and check out this fight. This is the human spirit. And that's what you and I love about this sport, the
Hmm.
practice of the art, the human spirit. Because both of them were like tired.
Hmm. Hmm.
When you think about it in today's terms, adjusted for inflation and what, most people are getting, even coming into the UFC, like a Patty Penblit, who might not
Hmm.
be the ardent martial artist, not well rounded, right?
Hmm.
What these guys in Forrest Griffin and Stephen Bonner were fighting for. to be a champion of a sport that is unheralded. It still wasn't on pay per view.
Hmm.
Now we are in the deal where on ESPN over the last 2 to 3 years, we've been conditioned that we're getting a fight, either fight night
Hey,
or pay per view every Saturday from the
hey,
UFC by ESPN.
I believe that might have been the very first $1 million
Gate,
contract,
yeah, 100%.
right? Yeah, I believe that was. And then both of them got it. The fight was so excellent.
Yeah,
He gave it to both of them.
and Bonner,
They both got a contract that day. What an event!
yeah, that's it. And again, you don't get that fight because, of course, Forrest Griffin ended up becoming UFC champion,
Hmm.
but he doesn't get there without that dancing partner, and that
That's
dancing
right.
partner is Stephen Bonner,
That's
and
right.
Stephen Bonner had his crack at the title, even though it was
Hmm.
thwarted. But my goodness, to get to championship level, that's it, and
Yeah.
I mean
They're
another name
they're
that
already Hall of Famers, both of those two. They're
yeah,
already Hall of Famers. At least he became a Hall of Famer before he left. You know.
exactly, and unfortunately, because they're not the only ones, right? We lost Antonio Inoki and Judo Jean Lobel. The last two remaining members of who was in the ring that night in the much talked about, Ali versus Inoki wrestler versus
Hmm.
boxing fight
Hmm.
from Tokyo way
Hmm.
back in the day in the 70s, right? So, those two definitely Ali and Inoki. I mean, Ali, Inoki, and Judo Jean. All of them should be Hall of Famers, and they didn't get it, but Stephen Bonner did. So when you think
Hmm.
about that, that's, I mean, bah, that's it. You
Hmm.
know, Bruce Lee should be in there, like 100%. Like we don't have what we have if not for those gentlemen. So, yeah, again, we tip our hats to you. Our condolences, our
Most
most
definitely.
heartfelt condolences go to you and your families, and thank you for literally giving your lives to the sport that we love.
Amen to that.
Amen. So we've got an end of the year spectacular because this year was absolutely spectacular. Um, and not to say other years weren't, but my God, like this year. So right off the bat, I compiled a couple of different categories to go in. So first off, most improved fighter of the year. So who would you say is your most
Mo-
improved fighter of the year?
Most improved. Oh, you know, there was so many performances this year. Such high level. But there's only one person that rings loud in my mind. Always. Since day one. John Wei Lee. I don't know if there's anyone that works harder than John Wei Lee. You know what I'm saying? She is my most improved fighter of the year. Zhong Wei Li of China, the People's Republic.
I'm actually going to go on a limb, and I'm actually going to go with Makachev.
Islam? Okay, okay.
And the reason why, I mean, one would argue, right? Um, maybe he's not the most well-rounded, right? Theoretically speaking. But
Okay, okay.
here's the deal, right? And we were just talking, and no disrespect to Stephen Bonner, right?
Hmm.
Or Rumble Johnson, right? Because you said if it was anybody but DC on top, when you think about the reign, what was it between DC and John Jones? That was like a 5 year like stronghold. There was a
Hmm.
proverbial glass ceiling. So you had that was like Austin and Rock being in the WWF at the same time.
Hmm. Hmm.
And look at how many people fell prey to those two in DC and John Jones, right?
Hmm.
So when you
Especially John Jones
right, so
carrying
what
a mantle.
yeah, right. So when you think about it, right? Stephen Bonner got his chance. Rumble
Mhm.
Johnson got his chance, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
But unfortunately, they weren't able to make good on it, turn their blood, sweat, and tears into gold, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So, with that being said, Makachev was able to do it. Now, of course, Glover could, should have got the shot, theoretically speaking, but Glover, he's just like, hell, oh, why right now? Like, I was heading for this guy, I got one more fight in me, like, why the hell? You could say that it's kismet, just the right amount of stuff to happen for Makachev to be there, but
Mhm.
for Makachev to basically answer the call,
Mhm.
that's where he's got my most improved. Now, where that, and it's a really, um the only other person that I would think of, right,
Mhm. Mhm.
is Pieta, right, Potan,
Most improved.
right,
Mhm. Mhm.
but he already has. He's undefeated since against Izzy. Now, of
Mhm.
course, Izzy is Izzy, one of the all-time greats. If he hung it up today, he's still one of the all-time greats.
Mhm.
But it's not as surprising as Makachev. Now, you could argue, right? If you're looking at it, that's just like Habib beating Quinta, and like, oh, is that a title fight or whatever? But Makachev did fight, the one after Yuri Prohashka and Glover.
Mhm.
So he's still in the top four. Like he would
Yeah, I
have
mean,
he would have fought that guy even after who would have said that he would have like trounced either Glover, like the other two that dropped out of the fight. So that's why I say like Makachev is from like literally like almost unknown going into the pandemic to
mhm.
champion.
Mhm.
That's where he gets mine.
That's cool. That's cool. Especially the way you won the match.
Yeah.
Oh well, the way he set up his title win with
Hmm.
the hands. He
Yeah.
set it up with the hands, and then he went for the submission.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shows an improvement. You know what I mean? So it's a elevation of skill. He was able to display that on the highest level, on the biggest stage. So I definitely have no problem with that pick at all.
Yeah. Micmac says he's sunburned today. So
Oh,
yeah, it sucks. And going to celebrate my birthday and New Year's on the same day. 100%.
that's right. That's
Hopefully
right.
New Year's Eve and the eve before New Year's Eve, which will be in
Mhm.
5 minutes from now.
That's
If you're
right.
here on the west coast of the United States,
That's
so
right.
that's that. Breakout fight of the year. Do you have one?
Hmm. Breakout fighter, I will have to say Hands of Stone, Poatan, Alex Pereira. I believe he fits this mold the best because 3 fights and a title. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Doesn't get any better than that.
yeah,
He just got here and he's already champion.
yeah. You know, that is that is key. You bring up a lot of good points, but where I'm going in terms of breakout fighter of the year,
Well,
Leon fucking Edwards,
okay,
and
okay.
this is, I mean, as much as Eddie Alvarez, the Underground King. Remember,
Mhm,
he ate
mhm,
complete shit in London after
mhm.
having a showing of a lifetime.
Yeah.
All the shit that fucking Leon Edwards has gone through, being Jamaican, growing up in fucking UK,
Mhm,
all the, I mean, fucking BT Sport, they
mhm,
got a fucking tremendous documentary about Leon Edwards, and then he fucking can't get out of the fucking country during COVID. He should have been fucking champion 2 years ago,
mm,
right?
mm,
And
mm.
then he was getting his ass whooped, sir.
Mhm. Hmm.
against again one of the all-time greats in Kamaru Usman,
Hmm. That's true.
right?
That's
And
true.
between like literally his fucking coach going like, motherfucker, if you don't knock him out, we're fucked.
Hmm.
I mean, to me, is there more of a breakout than that?
Yes, there is. Poatan coming in, crushing with a
Okay.
flying knee knockout to the first dude he ran into. The second dude went the distance. He beat the shit out of that dude. We ain't seen that guy since the time that they fought. Then he came back again and smashed somebody else. I can't remember who. Then he got the title shot and smashed the champion.
Yeah, but
It's
I
been
mean,
smash city for Poatan since he's been here.
but the thing about it is, I'd say, how many of those were in the calendar year of 2022?
At least two.
At least two.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. And
yeah.
Potan looked dominant,
Crushing.
right? So I guess I mean,
One fight better than the next.
no, 100%, 100%. Where I'm saying is like breakout, like
Leon was winning by decision up until that win,
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
last one.
No,
He ain't
but
dominating, like crushing people.
right, exactly, right. So to me, breakout is like when you break out of the pack, right? Like to me, a fucking weed, right? Like a when you think about Phoenix
Yeah,
rising out of the ashes, all
yeah,
the shit has to fucking burn the fuck down, right, for you to
yeah,
break out.
yeah.
So that's why, for me, by definition, it's Leon Edwards.
Hey, I'm with you. I'm with you with the Leon Edwards.
Yeah,
But you gotta. I'm with you with the same analogy. But Poatan in this case is busting off the gates like what's that track star Usain Bolt used to do. Remember the
yeah,
distance he used to put between
yeah,
them?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
how
fucking,
he did it. He's
yeah.
like, man, you know what I'm
All right,
saying?
all right,
He
I
just
feel
came
it.
he just came smashing through and he took the belt from the champion. The way he did it, man. He did it with these right here, bro. He didn't even kick him in the head with the biggest muscles in his body. He hit him with these right here, with these dogs. He beat him down, man to man. He looked him in his eyes and he crushed him with the hands. There's nothing better than that. There's nothing better than that. He tried to run. He tried to clinch. He's like, get off of me. Uh, 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 uh. He put them paws to him, bro.
Well, I mean,
Paws to him.
you're right. You're right. But I mean, they,
Hey, he took it. He
both
took the title.
Potan has another category for me.
Both of them took the title.
No,
Both
no,
took the
100%.
title. But one
So
was more in your face.
yeah, yeah,
I'm the one killing you. It was more, I'm the one killing you.
yeah,
Leon's win is more like a sniper. You know what I'm saying? It was precise. It hit the bullseye. But Porta was like, he went in with a knife.
yeah,
It was a knife kill for him compared to the rifle shot. You know what I mean? One is more intense. Well, I don't know. I'm
yeah.
just talking shit.
No. I'm with it. But I mean, for those reasons that you said, Potan actually has fucking head and shoulders above the rest. Head,
Outlier.
yeah, no, head and shoulders, but in another category for me. And we'll get to that. We'll get
Yes,
to that.
right.
McMac says it's Friday, 7 p.m. there. So
Oh,
shout out to
okay.
you and your New Year's
Your
Eve.
your day's almost over. We're just getting
It's
started,
almost
brother.
done. It's almost like fucking any doubters on Potan, right? Like that's Micmac's day over there. Um, so I I guess there's no better way to segue this, but we're gonna go with most. I don't know because I want to do disappointment of the year
Okay.
and overhyped, but I feel like we're both gonna do the same thing. So we're gonna do a wait. Okay, I'm gonna ask you this, Voodoo. Is your most the person that you're thinking of overhyped fighter of the year? Is that the same person that also is your pick for the most disappointed fighter of the year? Is it the same person?
Um,
Because if it is, we're going to do a combined one. But if it isn't, then we're
it
going to.
isn't.
Okay.
It isn't.
All right.
It isn't.
So, okay. So then we'll go first.
Mhm.
Most overhyped fighter of the year.
Patty the Batty Pimblett.
Ooh, okay.
If you think back, I've always said this. I've always said he's too reckless. You know what I mean? He's too reckless. He gets touched too easily by no name folks. I don't know if you remember me saying that.
No,
Uh, uh,
actually, to be honest with you, and I want to. If we had done a show right after Patty's fight,
mhm.
and if we didn't have the in memorandum at the beginning of tonight's show, the show would be started off pretty different, and that would be me literally eating crow and apologizing to you because I was just like, the fucker is a hodgepodge of Owen Hart and fucking Rowdy Piper, like it's fun or whatever. But you, sir, are right. He is reckless. He's whatever, and even in terms of optics, when you're fucking taking a loss, and I'm not the biggest Ariel Hawani fan, but fucking Ariel starts that motherfucker. And
Yeah.
not just that, right? But when you go into Graham, right? And Graham is Patty. I forgot the guy's name. I mean last name, but you can look it up. Graham is the guy who is Patty the Batty and Molly Meatball Molly McCann's manager, but
Right. Right.
also owns Cage Warriors. That's a direct fucking feeder system to the UFC,
Hmm.
which is weird because. And wait, are we doing over? We're doing overhyped, right?
Overhyped.
Okay. Okay. Because I got my disappointment there.
It's okay.
But when you think about it, right? In the shit that's going on with James Krause, right, and betting on it.
Hmm.
So when the lawyer, whoever this is, or the state athletic commission, whatever person that is looking into the UFC's business practices and going, this shit doesn't look like this or that or whatever, and this shit should go here. This is a square peg, round hole, that type of shit. Oh, what are you guys doing in the UK? Oh, wait, like two of your biggest money stars, one of which who co-headline a fucking pay-per-view, basically is managed by the guy who fucking feeds you all of the UK fighters.
Hmm.
That's antitrust,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? I mean, at the same time, when you've got a fighter of coaches, a fighter and a coach that has coached, I mean, James Krause was in Megan Anderson's corner as she went for the 145 UFC Women's Featherweight Championship against Amanda Nunes.
Hmm.
So you got a coach who's also a fighter that had at least one of his fighters in a UFC fight pay-per-view headline that's also betting on fights and has a fucking podcast sponsored by the UFC where he's picking the picks and then he's inviting you to join his Discord.
That's right. That's right. Hey, we gotta eat. Everybody gotta eat.
But I mean, fuck, this
If
could
the
take the
if
fucking shit out of fucking UFC's mouths right now.
you think if the UFC was sharing the wealth, you think he'll be doing stuff like that?
No.
Probably not. You know what I'm saying? The chicken is coming home to roost, man. That's all there is to it. You know,
Well,
he is the product of their creation. They created him. If
yeah.
they would have fed him, he wouldn't have to go rummaging through other people's, you know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ryback, feed me
Yeah.
more.
Feed me more. There you go. I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. But you know what's again? It's wild, right?
Hmm.
Because we were told by somebody out in Missouri, somebody that fancies himself to be I don't know, the king of Missouri MMA stuff, right?
Okay, okay.
You know, you know who I'm talking about. But this person told us that James Krause was a goddamn millionaire. That he owns a shit
Oh,
ton of fucking Metro PCSs in the fucking Missouri area. Where do you
I
think he
remember that. I remember
where do
that.
you think he gets the fucking money from?
Oh,
Because you make fucking shit as a coach of a fighter. And go back and look at, and I don't know if Glory's MMA is still there. I would imagine so. Just because you can't fight in the UFC doesn't mean you have to close down your gym.
right.
That's an immaculate fucking facility. That's raised no UFC world champions. Like if Jackson Wink, right? And think
Yeah.
about Jackson Wink, that facility. But look at how many fucking champions went through there. What's his name down in fucking Henry Hooft over that,
Mm-hmm.
from the Dutch kickboxer going down to, South Florida, right? Started Black Zillions and now he's, where is it, Sanford or whatever.
Sanford MMA.
Yeah. And then look at Sanford MMA, right? Look at
Mm-hmm.
ATT.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Black House.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Those championships. Glory MMA, I mean, you don't fucking build a facility like Glory MMA on a Megan Anderson Invicta championship. Nothing. And you know how much I love Invicta.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you
Mm-hmm.
know how much I respect all of the fucking champions that come out of there. That is the
Mm-hmm.
fucking who's who of
Mm-hmm.
women's MMA.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of monetary, I
Mm-hmm.
don't care how cheap the land is in Missouri. You got to have St. Louis. That's a fucking metropolitan whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So to have a facility that big and that nice on just fucking coach salaries, just saying, just saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Dane, 100%. So you got Patty and Molly and a litany of other fighters because theoretically speaking, if the way that I understood a Cage Warriors contract
Mm-hmm.
is they want, if you're signed to a contract, you have to fulfill. So let's say if you got 5 fights in, it's like you win 5 fights in, sell the amount of tickets or whatever the Cage Warriors, whatever, and then we make you
Mm-hmm.
your champion. And let's say you get to championship and win in 3 fights.
Mm-hmm.
That means you're obligated to two title defenses, or you go up or go down in weight,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's your 5. But say you're right up into like a title contention, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the UFC needs a short notice fight. But you can get out if you're going into the UFC, right? You can get out of your
Mm-hmm.
Cage Warriors contract. But let's just say LFA wanted to fucking put you on their card, or Bellator, or PFL. Then Graham says no.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that fucking some sort of fucking antitrust?
Mm. It's a. This is what you get when you have such a young sport. People are still out there like the Wild Wild West Mavericks. You know what I'm saying? They're doing their own thing. Like boxing has been around for hundreds of years, so they've tightened the reins a bit on the boxing organization, but the UFC and mixed martial art, people are still running their own little schemes, you know, over here and over there until laws shut it down.
Yeah.
These things will continue to be common.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, so Patty the Batty is gonna be your most overhyped, right?
Overhyped, overhyped.
Huh.
Hey man, from the very first match we
Yeah,
saw him in the UFC, he got rocked.
yeah.
He
He's gonna be
won,
mine too.
but he got rocked. The second one, he got rocked. The
Rocked,
third one,
yeah.
he got rocked.
Yeah, and it was
This last
nominal.
one, he got rocked.
Yeah, 100%.
Like
100%. Yeah.
What's gonna happen
So
when
yeah,
he gets in it with a top fiver?
nah, he's gonna get fucking
He ain't gonna
starched.
make it.
It's. I mean, it's over.
Calvin Cater will finish that dude.
Dude, I would even say fucking O'Malley fucking starches him.
Tell me about it.
And you know what's wild is fucking Patty has replaced O'Malley as the fucking overhyped fighter of the year. Like 2020, one going into 2022, you would have been like, oh, it's O'Malley.
Hey man, after that fight with Jan,
Yeah,
is it Jan? If
fucking
anyone still
O'Malley
thinks
showed everybody.
O'Malley is overrated,
Yeah, can shut
have
that
your
shit down.
shoes. It's
Yeah,
all hate. That's
yeah,
all hate.
100%.
To be able to do what he did
Yeah,
with Jan,
yeah,
the number one contender, the former champion, the
yeah.
previous champion, to be
Who,
able to hang
who
with him
in
like he did,
and
come on.
who in many respects. I mean, even you could have even made a claim for Aljo going into 2020. Like you won the title, by dubious means by DQ when Jan hit that fucking illegal knee,
Mhm.
right? But then fucking Aljo ran it back. But what before Aljo ran it back with Jan and beat Jan, right? Beat the brakes off of Jan. He went with no surgery or some shit like whatever. So it called a lot of shit into question, right? So you
Mhm.
could even say like Aljo and O'Malley both would have been like the fucking overhyped whatever. But
Mhm.
now I think for sure Patty fucking
All
replaces
day, man.
O'Malley
All he does is
100%.
run drag. All he does is run his mouth. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And he got fucking starched with by Ariel. So I mean
Yeah.
shit, dude. That's
See, that's what you have when when a man doesn't have honor. He has no honor.
yeah.
He should have been straightforward and be like, yo, man, hey, from now on, man, I need to get paid. Just come out and say that to the fella.
Right.
You know what I mean? Don't get in front of Dana White and start spinning things and start saying other things
Yeah,
that
no,
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Facts.
Like,
Facts. And again, Ariel had all the receipts, all the fucking Vira chats and shit like that, and voice messages and whatever. So I mean, again, Ariel might be the fucking personality of the year for sure. I
yeah,
feel, and I'm
he
not.
he
I
does his
mean,
thing. He
I,
does
I
his thing.
like I said, I'm not so much. I don't want to say, but yeah, I mean, anybody that criticizes Ariel has a pretty good reason to criticize Ariel. Cool, but you got to respect what he's done, and he fucking shut that shit down. So like
Yep.
Ariel, to me, like, well, I mean, he might even be like over Rogan in terms of like I would have said like Rogan up until fucking shit. Because even fucking Rogan shut Patty down. Like, oh, how much are you gonna fucking pay me for this interview? Like, fucking shut up. That's Joe Rogan. Show some fucking respect, you dumb fuck. So yeah, cool. So yeah, needless to say, Patty the Batty is also that. I think this is the most consensus pick. Patty Patty Pimblett is the most
He's
overhyped
garbage.
fighter of the year. Even
He's
Molly
garbage.
McCann fucking beat the brakes off an old girl. That spinning fucking back fucking elbow.
It was
Shit.
two spinning back whatevers for her
Shit.
until she got beat.
Yeah, man. So just saying. Okay, so going down the list. The disappointment of the year.
I would have to say Carla Esparza versus Rose Namajunas.
You
That
know what?
match was a disappointment.
So yes, I'm gonna whatever, but I might have been on shrooms during that one. so, so I could tell you one way or another what the fuck happened. Like I looked up the screen and shit looked like claymation. And shit was like
hey,
celebrity deathmatch.
hey, when we broke that fight down that
Yeah,
Thursday, we were talking about how surgical it was going to be,
Yeah,
how Rose is gonna piece her up,
w-
maintain distance control.
we sold the
You
fight better than they did, for sure.
know,
We sold the fight better than they did, 100%. Us, keyboard warriors, fucking Luke Thomas, fucking Rogan, like all of us, we all fucking sold that fight better, you know. And again, you gotta respect Carlos Parza, you gotta respect Rose, but that shit was not great. Um,
not at all.
no, no, no. But I'm actually gonna go outside of the octagon
Hmm. Okay,
with my disappointment of the year.
okay. What was it?
It comes in two forms.
Okay, Form One.
James Krause.
Okay, okay,
James Krause. Because
okay.
the assuming the way that the fucking strong arm of the law comes down on the UFC, this is gonna fuck up a lot of things already, right? Do you know back in the day, fighters used to be able to like they would after their fight they can go back out into the crowd and watch the rest of the card, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then there was some sort of fight. I think it even predates Leon and fucking Masvidal.
Hmm.
But a fight ended up happening. Maybe it was Connor and Diaz. Something happened or whatever. Uh, but now once you and I found out after UFC 209 with Albert Morales, like we got escorted from the fucking premises after he won. Um, so that was that, right? And it took one bad apple to spoil the whole bunch and fuck it up for the rest of everyone, right?
Hmm.
So you remember how there, like if you're a fighter on the undercard, right? And there was a couple fighters that did this. They're like, I bet on myself.
Yes, I've heard
There was
that
even
before.
fucking fighters on Contender Series. There
Hmm.
was like one motherfucker during the pandemic. Like it was like, oh, it was like 12 to fucking show, right? Like, show and win money was 12 grand, right? And he put that shit on himself.
And then he lost.
But there was one that won though.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Remember the
there
one
was
that
one that
lost?
I know there was one that lost for sure. But there was one that won. And then also that almost that almost and for sure there was somebody during the fucking, the Fight Island shows. I want to say like one fight per card, like in average. That's how it went down, right? So James Krause kind of fucked it up for everyone. So if you're getting 5-5 on a short notice and just want to fucking roll on black and shit like that, you cannot do that anymore. You're not getting any of the fucking DraftKings money. You're not getting any of this ESPN Bookham shows money. You're not getting any of that shit. You're just getting 5-5.
Hey, just get a loan, and invest that loan money, and then when you win, pay the loan back.
I mean, don't James Krause it. Damn it. Jesus. Shh. That wasn't said.
What's the second part?
The one, the only, Douglas motherfucking Crosby. He's the dude who Rafian Stotts and fucking Danny Sabatello in Bellator.
Oh yeah, that referee or the
That fucking
judge or
judge,
whatever.
bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
How
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
fuck
yeah, yeah.
you gonna do that shit in Bellator? World title fight. And that's not just because Danny Sabatello is a fucking asshole. That ain't because fucking Rafael Stotts is a homie. No, no, that this is some bullshit. And you've had questionable calls. Like he's the male Adelaide Bird. No
Right.
bullshit. But Adelaide Bird, I don't think she understands the sport.
No.
Fucking Douglas Crosby does.
Maybe he's one of those James Cross type fellas.
He votes the way that he thinks that the so maybe just maybe, right? Tinfoil hat. So
Hmm.
take it for what it's worth, right? But Bellator is looking at Danny Sabatello, right, and going like, "Oh, he talks shit. He don't give a fuck. He's got that Conor McGregor East Coast, Italian fucking style, like fucking Frankie Edgar on roids. Like not saying like either takes steroids or anything like that,
Mhm.
but I'm just saying like you got your fucking East Coast swagger, Italian American fucking McGregor. So you're gonna push
And
him, right?
hey, man, the thing about that guy is it's hard to buy it. It's hard to buy it because, dude, your greatest suit is jujitsu, man. Like, come on, man. You act like you
No,
got hands and feet. You ain't got
no,
no hands and feet. You talk all that smack and you're grabbing dudes and hugging them.
no. Well, not just the jiu-jitsu. It's also his gas tank. For sure, he's got a gas tank on him. But
Where's
the
your
thing,
striking?
no, no.
Striking. Let me see you strike.
All
You
right,
know
Habib.
what I'm saying?
Habib ain't never done shit ever. Said nobody. Maybe some people. Maybe Voodoo Maximus. Maybe Voodoo might have. Maybe Voodoo might love fucking Habib's
Hey,
manager.
but like I told you, we ain't even gonna mention that fool. Like I told you though.
Oh,
like I told you, Islam is way better than Khabib,
100%.
and Usman is better than Islam.
Yeah. No. All day. All day. I mean, I don't think there's. I mean, as we talk right now, t- ending 2022, that's it.
Hmm.
Some shit can change, and that's what we love
Yeah,
about the sport. But
man.
again, Douglas Crosby, right, fucks up the shit in a Bellator world title fight.
Hmm.
Could have fucked up the way Rafael Stotts provided for his family at Christmas. Fucked up his record. Gave the world title to somebody that was the shits, you know?
Yeah.
Then what does he do? Fucking not even get breakfast. Gets out
Hmm.
of fucking Mohegan Sun. It was at Mohegan Sun. Where they used to have the fucking, Yokozuna and shit like that
Yeah.
back in
Yeah.
the day,
Yeah.
right? So Mohegan Sun is a native land, right?
Yes.
In
Yes.
Connecticut.
Yes.
So he had to fly, like, he had to drive to fucking New York and then fucking fly to Vegas and score a fucking patty the same fucking way. He's the disappointing one. James Krause, Douglas Crosby. That's my fucking most disappointing motherfuckers of the year.
Hey, he should get investigated too.
All of them. Fuck it. Throw their ass with Sam Bankman Fried and all that shit.
Hey, hey, hey. Screw up the cards or screw up the judging. No one has ever said that about Mr. Bell.
Ooh, ooh, Jesus.
Michael Bell. You know what I'm saying? That's my man right there, man.
No, I
Mike
thought you.
Bell.
Yeah, Mike Bell. Mike Bell's the shit. Dave Michael Bell. Every every fucking they take him to Fight Island. Bellator will take him and the Herzog to fucking France and shit like
Yeah.
fuck.
That's a
Dave
dude
Michael.
that knows his shit.
Dave. Who we got? We got Beltran,
Mm-hmm.
Dave Michael Bell,
Mm-hmm.
uh, John Romero, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Chris Lieben,
Yes.
fucking who else?
The one that used to fight Matt Hughes. Frank Trigg.
Trig, yeah, Trig.
Mm-hmm.
We got Trig. We got who else, man? We've got the Denkins, right? Dave and Jackie in judging capacities,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
both amateur and CSAC.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, dude, like fucking Herb fucking Dean, Jesus Christ,
Herb, the gold standard.
gold standard.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? Dave Michael Bell will tell you. Dave Michael Bell was up under fucking Herb Dean.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I
here's the
remember.
deal. Herb Dean's last course, you know who's the co-coach?
Who?
Herb on one side and David Michael fucking Bell on the other.
That's right. That's
Just
right.
saying. Just saying. Uh, Addis, what's up, bro? Hey, what's up, my guys? Good to see you. Happy, healthy.
Yeah,
Hey, bless you, brother. Bless you and the
likewise,
family. Hope you
likewise.
guys have a tremendous, tremendous holiday season. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hmm. Let's
All right.
get it.
So we got a couple so promotion of the year. I think
Hmm.
this is a gimme, right? This is a gimme. But
Yeah, yeah.
what you got?
Hey, man, look. When I look at the sport of mixed martial arts, I look at it from the executive uh, standpoint, and I also look at it from the athlete standpoint. When it comes to maximizing and growing uh, every year, surpassing the previous year continuously for the past 5 6 years, if not more. No company is doing that like the UFC.
Yeah.
I think the UFC might have done better than WWE this year, this past 2 years.
Obviously it's hard to tell, right? Because
Yeah.
like um so the parent company of UFC is Endeavor, and Endeavor
Hmm.
has stock,
Right.
and it's a fraction of what WWE is,
Right. Right. Right.
right? But then
Yeah.
WWE lost Vince McMahon, but I mean the stock actually upticked, and it was trading around $74 and has maintained like 74 to, I want to say, I think it peaked at 80
Hmm.
after Vince left.
Hmm.
So I want to say that WWE, because again, if you're just looking at stock price, right? UFC is like one. I don't even think it's third. So when you look, and this could be bullshit metrics, but this is what I judge, right? So they said the reason why Spotify, right? I know it's an apples to oranges comparison, right? But they say that the reason why Spotify cut Rogan that fucking deal is because the amount of listeners and downloads that the Joe Rogan experience gets is like Taylor Swift, who at the time is, I mean, when you're talking about singer songwriters and getting a bulk to the singer songwriter and what it gets to a platform like Spotify, a Rogan episode is with a popular guest is like Taylor Swift dropping a once every 3 year album in terms of
Wow.
revenue. So when you think about that and you float it back over to the UFC, right? Think about everything in in Endeavor's, portfolio, right? And maybe UFC is maybe not even 5% of their gross total revenue.
Hmm.
I don't know if you I don't know if we will actually know what the UFC will bring in,
Hmm.
but if you're just looking at stock price, WWE has them beat. And Dane Donovan says, crazy how much Vince lost on the XFL. Looks like fucking Dwayne Johnson's going to take an L too.
Yeah. He hasn't even dropped it yet.
But he dropped Black Adam. And that's, I could have told him being Black Adam doesn't have its perks at all. I could have told him because I'm a Black Adam.
Hey, hey, he was yoked in Black Adam though.
I might have had an
He,
egg yolk before we started
hey,
the podcast.
he said, Dwayne Johnson said, I'm not wearing no damn plastic suit. I'm just gonna go ahead and roar it up and get super jacked and yoked. You know what I'm saying? Like I am the bodysuit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but I could have told him, like, hey, being Black Adam doesn't have its perks. Like, because and Addis is like, no, it's not. I got a fucking sore ass throat. Calm down, calm down. I actually took a test like 2 days ago, so I'm good. I'm good. I don't like this time of the year. My fucking allergies get all fucked up. So, just saying. But I'm okay. Fucking kick out to this motherfucker. Um. So. Uh. Yeah, UFC, right? And just to parlay what you were saying, what I'm going to say in terms of the UFC, right? I mean, they literally, gave ESPN the cow, right? Not just the milk, but the fucking cow,
And the
right?
golden goose.
Yeah, all of it, right? Because they basically were like, all the shit, we built up this fucking UFC fight pass. Fuck it. You don't want it? That's cool. We'll put
Mhm,
all of our shit. They cannibalized UFC fight pass for
mhm,
ESPN Plus.
mhm,
They
mhm,
conditioned us, especially during the pandemic, right? And just like WWE, I don't think they were more better suited coming out of the fucking pandemic in terms of sports franchises than UFC and WWE.
mhm,
Because the
mhm,
WWE train just kept on going. They just ran it out of
mhm,
fucking stadium.
mhm,
Then they ran it out of baseball stadium. Dana looked at Vince McMahon and was like, "Oh, shit, that's it? Fuck, we already got a fucking facility out in Vegas that we're gonna fucking film the Ultimate Fighter." But
mhm,
then Vegas was like, "Nah." It's like, okay, cool. Yo, Ron DeSantis, what y'all doing in Florida?
mhm,
And remember we had those fucking fights at ViStar in what is it, Jacksonville? Home of
mhm,
AEW, funny enough.
mhm, mhm,
So I mean, shit. So they've they to me uh no better suited. So it went from, like, if you're in our generation, you went from UFC not even being on, like, being a tape, not even carried at all fucking video stores.
mhm, mhm,
Then you could barely get it on fucking pay per view, even if you wanted to fucking pay for it. Fucking pay
mhm,
per view carriers, whatever.
mhm,
Then you went to fucking, what is it, Fuel TV?
mhm,
Fuel TV versus, right? Fuel TV
mhm,
into versus
mhm,
that morphed into fucking Fox Sports.
mhm, mhm,
And in between, it was like Spike, because that's where we get
mhm.
the fucking Ultimate Fighter,
That's right. That's right.
right?
Mhm,
And then from Fox, right? And we had Fox cards, the fucking Kane Velasquez and fucking Junior Dos Santos. I was on free fucking TV.
mhm,
One, they said, "Yeah, we don't give a shit about the rest of the card. We know you want the fucking main event." And it was a
mhm.
title change with fucking, Kane Velasquez's fucking body broke down on him and shit like that. So I mean,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Up in
so
up in altitude, New
no, that
Mexico.
was the Anaheim card.
Oh yeah. Wait. Was
When
that Anaheim?
yeah, Kane,
He fell
yeah,
under the guillotine.
yeah, Kane getting fucking starched by Junior Dos Santos. That was the Fox card in Anaheim.
Oh, I was thinking
Verdum and
Verdum. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Verdum
no,
was in Mexico
Verdum,
City.
Verdum and whatever in Mexico City. That was actually
Mhm,
on the pay per view. But the
mhm,
very
mhm.
first Fox card,
Yes, yes,
like
yes,
for
yes.
free, like on
Yeah,
Fox, like if you turn on Channel 11, if you're here in LA
yeah. He
at
hit him
five,
with that. He boo whopped him, knocked him out with that chin check.
yeah, yeah, 100%. And Ada says, "Yo, I'm in Washington State lately.
Okay.
It was below 4 the other day, and today it's like 45 out, dude.
Wow,
Yo,
that's
Washington
crazy.
State has got like the fucking LA. I used to joke about, like, hey, we would have like fucking weird swings in weather, right? How to be like 40 degrees at night and then 90 in the day and shit like that. And I was like, you know what? Fucking LA people you know, have factored into the weather, because the weather's just as bipolar as the people of LA. So I guess y'all got it up there in Washington State. So hey, what? And yes, pay per view prices are going up. soon to be $100 a pop. No, 100%. Along with ESPN Plus increasing another $5, so it's 14.99.
Yep.
$99.
Mm-hmm.
You remember it was like $4 without fucking commercials, then
Mm-hmm.
$10. Now it's 15 plus. And Ada says Hulu has it all. Not in my region, but I might have other
Mm-hmm.
means.
Mm-hmm. Hulu does have it all. Those commercials are out of control on Hulu.
But well, isn't Hulu Disney anyway?
Is it? I know.
Yeah.
Well, I have it where it's Disney, Hulu, and one other one. I think Amazon. I don't remember.
No.
It's three
No.
that come in a package.
Okay.
What was it again?
You know what well, I was about to say, do you know what my package cost?
What?
That doesn't sound right.
uh,
No, but the the package. Oh, there we go. Okay, the
yeah.
package that I have,
Yeah.
it's Disney Plus,
Uh-huh.
ESPN.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. That's the same one I have too.
Okay,
ESPN, Disney, and Hulu.
okay. For a fact, what do you know? Disney and ESPN. What's their parent company? Disney.
No idea. Oh, okay. That's what's up.
So if Hulu's in there,
Disney owns it.
just saying,
Mm-hmm.
we paying the fucking mouse for our
3 times.
3 times. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man. All right. So in terms of, do you have a favorite fight card of the year?
Uh,
There's been so
it's been too many. I don't even know. It's been a great year.
uh, uh, uh that is, can you hear me? Okay, cool. So I think whatever fucking card that had that Chandler Ferguson, where fucking Ferguson gets KO'd,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
what card? That's the
Yeah,
one.
that was also a good card. That was
So
also a good
so
card with some good promos in it.
so that okay, yeah. Fighter of the year. For male. Well, actually,
Male
let's go
fight.
female first. Female
Okay,
first.
female fighter of the year is
Yeah.
remains Valentina Shevchenko because she finds a way to win. She finds a way to
Yeah.
win. She's dominant. She's remained dominant the entire time. Um, she's the best right now. She's the best. She's the most consistent. She's got to get fighter of the year.
No, 100%. I'm actually going talk about adversity, and to
Hmm.
me, it's like it's not where you started; it's where you finish.
Hmm.
To me, it's a fucking goat. It's fucking Amanda Nunes. She regained her 135-pound title. You know,
She shouldn't
um,
have lost it though.
I
She
mean,
she had no business losing in the first place. I'm not impressed by her performance at
okay,
all.
okay. I mean, if you're gonna go that, okay, well, Sarah shouldn't have been, beat fucking Saint Pierre. Like we could do those.
Did
We
did 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 Saint Pierre get fighter of the year when he won? When he got his belt back? I don't remember. I don't remember that.
even
But
if he didn't, I mean, there was an era of MMA and
yeah.
specifically the UFC where it was just whatever the Anderson and GSP were doing, and I felt like after GSP beats Sarah
Hmm.
and regains the title, that's when that GSP era of like you didn't care who GSP was fighting. You bought the fucking pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that era. So whether he won the fight or not, and
Mm-hmm.
to me, it's all subjective. Just like the greatest of all time or goat. First off, there can only be one goat. You can't say like they're the goats. No, if you're saying greatest of all time,
Mm-hmm.
then you're saying greatest of all time. Now, are you saying pound for pound? Are you saying by weight class? And I think you have to do eras, right? I
Mm-hmm.
think you reevaluate your greatest of all time. I think the most consistent way and fairest way of judging is per division every 5 years, and that's to me that's how you get accurate. And then let's just say you kill women's featherweight, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just because UFC doesn't have it, maybe Invicta still has one, maybe one championship still has one, and whatever the uh, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Hello? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So whoever the last most dominant featherweight champion of the UFC,
Mm-hmm.
you compare that to the dominance of the current day, one championship women's featherweight or
Mm-hmm.
the Invicta or whatever, and then that's how you whatever. And maybe in that particular weight class, UFC doesn't even fucking have a stake in it anymore because they don't carry the division anymore, right? You can
Mm-hmm.
do dream matches and shit like that, but like it still doesn't hold water, So that's that. Dane Donovan says, "I'm surprised Brendan Schaub doesn't have more of a footprint in the UFC as like an analyst. I think it's because of his relationship with Dana, but love him or hate him, he has a big platform. But the folks in the MMA community hate that man. I mean, Brendan Schaub does like I was on the Brandon Schaub shit until the Bobby Lee thing, where the comedian Bobby Lee.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So you can literally go on a YouTube wormhole of like what Schaub did to kind of like fuck up. I mean, not to say his relationship with his girlfriend, Bobby Lee's girlfriend, wasn't already on the rocks or whatever, but like he let a lot of stuff out that the couple, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's Bobby Lee and Kalila that do the Tiger Belly podcast, Bobby
Mm-hmm.
Lee's podcast and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's as much hers as it is his, um,
Mm-hmm.
and that's from him. But yeah, that was I actually unsubscribed from Shab because and like you do what you want, right? If you
Right.
have an open relationship or whatever, that's your own fucking business. Like grown folks do grown folks shit. But like when you again, I don't want to like I went through a wormhole where like I fucking had to get to the bottom of it and shit like that because it was like a lot of people that I was listening to,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like Rogan was in it, fucking Brian Callen was in it, fucking Theo Vaughn was in it and shit like that. Tom Segura, Christina Przinski, like all these people that I like and I respect and whatever, and they all had an opinion of it. And in every instance, Brendan Schaub didn't come out looking like a good guy.
Mm.
So I think that's just my take on it. So that's it. And Dane Donovan says John Jones, the pound for pound.
Not right now. He hasn't fought in 2, 3 years. Not right
I
now. When he comes back and he dominates whoever he beats, then he goes right back to number one.
I'm sorry, like My pound for I mean it's top 3. It's in no particular order.
Mm-hmm.
In no particular order, it's Jones, Mighty Mouse, G- GSP. GSP, he might have lost to maybe like a BJ Penn
Mm-hmm.
because BJ Penn just fucking fought everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every
Mm-hmm.
weight class. He was like a more successful Sakuraba, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But when GSP took that title from Bisping,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of cemented it. You can't argue that even though Bisping was on his way out, he's one of the
He
only
was a
guys.
champion.
Yeah, and he's one of the only guys that, to me, it used to be a scarlet letter when guys, especially in combat sports,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be boxing or MMA, and this is still my barometer. When when they're saying in press conferences or the fucking hype videos and shit like that, the embeddeds or countdowns and 24/7s and shit like that. Oh, this is the best I've ever felt. You're gonna get your ass knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
And that started for me when I started to notice it. It was Chuck Liddell versus Rashad. Then when Rashad fucking got beat by fucking, was it Rampage?
John Jones.
Oh yeah, fuck, at light heavy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, right, 100%. So that was that, right? Rashad going into John Jones was like, I've never felt better. This is the best I've ever felt.
Mm-hmm.
Some semblance of that. When I hear that from an aging fighter, it's a rep. Michael Bisping is
Mm-hmm.
the only one said this is the best I've ever felt and fucking proved it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but when he beat Bisping in a different weight class, that's where like whatever. So for me, my pound for pound, like when you say pound for pound, Mighty Mouse, no question, no question.
I'm
And
not
what he,
mad at it.
yeah, what he did in one championship this year, fuck
The only thing that I would say is this: John Jones has never been defeated.
yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah, and Izzy taking that fight with fucking Blahovic, that downgraded his stock in terms of the pound for pound.
That was a good loss for him.
Yeah,
He
it was a
doesn't
good loss. But
Yeah,
see,
it doesn't
look,
he doesn't really lose much because he went out of his comfort zone. He gave something up.
okay,
He's like
so
it's like out of 100, he went down to 85 to fight someone else at 100.
no,
You know what I mean?
100%. But let's say in 2023, I think a lot of people are, and we thought we were going to get it this year, but John Jones at heavy, right?
Hmm.
So if John Jones loses at heavy, in my in my view,
Depends on how
okay,
how he loses.
if he gets starched,
And
if he
but
gets
and if he gets starched, it should hurt him bad because he has already determined he is leaving the current weight class and he's moving on to the
yeah,
next weight class. Now he is officially part of that weight class.
yeah,
There is no going back and forth anymore because he's already told us that he is a heavyweight now.
right,
So if he loses a heavyweight, it should be a severe punishment in regards to the standing.
right, 100%. Rashad lost to, and I love he literally,
Mechita.
yeah, he spelled it just like how we say it. I love it. Yeah, okay, so there's that. So that was the female fighter of the year, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, male fighter of the year,
I got Poitin.
same. And you
Poitin.
remember how I was saying? You remember how I
Hmm.
was saying like He's not my breakout, but
Mm-hmm.
he's my fighter of the year
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
without
All
question.
time. Because
Without question,
mm-hmm.
everything that he said he was going to do to Izzy, he fucking did, and he did twice before. Like he's the final boss. He's the overlord. He's the scary guy in the fucking alley.
M. Bison.
Yeah, he's M Bison with the flexibility of Dalzim. That's some scary fucking shit, man. Yeah, so he's female. I mean, he's male fighter of the year, 100%.
Yeah,
Okay, so
no arguments there.
I think this is it. And not the end of the show because we're gonna go with our most anticipated fights of 2023, our wish list, so to speak. But your fight of the year.
Fighter of the year is a Poitong Izzy because when I what it went my goal for mixed martial arts is that expression that you witnessed when you saw those two go at it.
Okay.
Yeah, occasional takedowns to active wrestling, active ground and pound. This is what I want to see. I don't want to see somebody who is way too good at wrestling and then nobody else can keep up. I mean, yes, it's there's nothing wrong with it, but at the same time, that this doesn't show me a complete fighter. I want to see a complete fighter. I
Okay.
want someone who is comfortable anywhere.
Okay.
Anywhere you want to go, I want, you know what I mean? This is my peak athlete that I'm looking for. And Usman Nurmagomedov is very, very, very close.
Yeah,
Very, very close. I'm very impressed by this kid. He's my favorite out of Dagestan.
I like it. Okay. I actually for it's crazy. I actually agree with MMA fighting
Hmm.
because okay. Let's just see. I just want your takes on it.
Hmm.
So their number 5, they've got Nate Landwehr versus David Onama.
Landwehr is the night train, right?
Yeah, that was a good
That was a
ass
good
fight.
fight. That was a good fight.
That was a good ass fight.
The thing
Uh,
is, the thing is, I am not impressed by Slugfest anymore. I've been in
okay.
this game since the very beginning.
Yes, you
I've
have.
seen I've seen the transition, you know?
Yeah.
So when I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoy watching it, but that's not my cup of tea.
Right.
It isn't the finer things in life. It's more like beer to me, and I'm looking for a martini, This is how I feel about those those brawls. I'm not into brawls anymore.
Okay.
What's number 4?
Number 4 would be Mateusz Gamrot against Armin Sarukian. Fights between top grapplers tend to follow one of these two scripts. Either has enough of a wrestling advantage to neutralize the other, or they just elect to strike. Not in this case.
Th-
Mateusz Gamrot and Armin Sarukian combined for a total of 29 takedown attempts between them over 25 minutes in an
and
incredible display of wrestling and scrambling ability.
this is fine and dandy, but
Yeah,
that's not what I'm looking for.
yeah,
I don't want to see 20 whatever minutes of wrestling.
yeah,
It
right.
was a good match. It was a good
Yeah,
match. It was very tactical, but I don't want to see tactical on the ground. I want,
100%.
I want, I want. Look, this is sports entertainment. I
Right.
understand we have to utilize the wrestling and the jujitsu and the clinching, but I want to see some striking, man. This is peak performance for me. You know.
Yeah, no, 100%. Uh, so their number 3
Hmm.
is the most recent. It's Wonder Boy versus Holland.
I understand why
Yeah,
that's at number two. It's for the same reason of what I'm talking about right now:
right.
striking.
100%.
Excellent peak performance striking. Occasional grapple here and grapple there is okay, but I want majority striking. I want majority striking because that's where it's at. That's where the entertainment factor is.
Right. And that's their number three. So for their number five is Landwehr Onama. Number
Mm-hmm.
four, Mateus Gamrot versus
Gamrot.
Sarukian. Wonder Boy versus Trailblazer or Shit Talker. Either way.
Mm-hmm.
So number two is Hamzat versus Gilbert Burns.
See, that's another slugfest. I'm not into slugfest.
Right.
If it was precision striking, then I'd be like, ooh, you know what I mean? But nothing precise about it. It was just I hit you, you hit me. Who's tougher? Who's gonna go down first? I'm not. I'm not. That doesn't impress me. But it
All
was a
right.
good. It was a good match. I
It was,
enjoyed it,
yeah.
but it doesn't impress me.
Ooh,
Dime
man.
a dozen.
Ooh.
Dime a dozen.
Voodoo Maximus getting that fucking Shania Twain. That don't impress me much. Got the looks, but you. All right, fuck. I know.
I'm not impressed by your performance.
Yeah, there you go. I like it. I like it. All right, so that was number two, right? And number one, I wholeheartedly agree with, but not for the reasons that they mentioned. It is Glover Teixeira versus Yuri Prohaska.
Okay, I'll go for it.
Yeah, and I'm not even gonna. I'll touch on what they want. They're looking at the fight. Was there any doubt the greatest light heavyweight title fight all time, with more twists and turns than three Stephen King's novels put together?
I
All
agree.
action from Prohaska, semi improvisational striking, and
Hmm.
then Teixeira's mix of elite grappling and brutal power punching. Right, it was a
Hmm.
scrap for
Hmm.
the ages. So here's
Hmm.
what think about. Okay, so to me, it was the tale of two phenoms,
Hmm.
right? Because we'll talk about Glover first. Glover was the fucking boogeyman for over a decade. He was the one that couldn't get a fight because of
Couldn't even get into the country.
it couldn't even get to the country. But this is the fucking I mean, literally the training partner of fucking Chuck Liddell doing the fucking Chuck Liddell's greatest run in the UFC, right? This is somebody that John Hackleman, right? Again, before Greg Jackson, before all these great coaches, Hackleman was that guy, right? Hackleman is saying like, you could fucking feel like I'm holding the bag for Glover, and I can feel his knuckles through the bag. A lot of people forgot that, you
Yeah,
know.
a lot of people forget that he's 45. Still at the top of his game.
I mean, old school is cool, man. Old school is fucking cool when you go to Glover Teixeira.
Hmm.
Then you get to Yuri. Yuri was the fucking boogeyman. Talking about that fucking hairstyle was connecting to the fucking ancient aliens, fucking half monk, half alien. That dude
Hmm.
was nuts. So those two,
Miyamoto Musashi was his hero.
yeah.
Book
So
of
again,
Five Rings.
right. So again, those two guys fighting for essentially Jones and Daniel Cormier's title, right?
Hmm.
This is
Hmm.
the first like real vestiges of what the light heavyweight division looked like without Daniel Cormier and John Jones.
Hmm. Hmm.
We had Jan, right? Jan
Hmm.
Blachowicz,
Hmm.
and then we had these two, and one
Hmm.
of which in Glover, you know, the, I don't want to say he was the leftover from the DC and John Jones era.
Hmm.
He was. He fucking was.
You know, I take it back, bro. I take it back. now that I think about it, this match is actually fight of the year. I totally agree.
Yeah,
It makes sense because their grappling, even though there was grappling in this match, it
yeah,
was weaponized grappling.
yeah.
It was
To
a
hurt.
means to an end. It was a
Yeah,
means to
to
an end
hurt.
of whooping your ass. They were trying to really murder each other.
Yeah,
So in a technical way too. It
and
wasn't.
it's
It
yeah.
wasn't. It wasn't. Uh. Um. It wasn't
It's like a fucking
power
samurai. It's
grappling.
like a ginsu
Yeah. Yeah.
knife.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not just
Yeah.
hack it, hack it, hack it. No,
Yeah. 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 It was smooth. The
it's a
transitions were
thousand
awesome.
cuts, like
Yes, yes,
precise.
yes. I agree. I agree. Now that I think about it,
Yeah,
I agree with their top five thing, especially the
the
number
top one.
one on the list. Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree
and
with that.
that if you're looking into like putting it into the pantheons of combat sports history, that has with the technical prowess of the actual
Hmm.
fight and the build up to it, and
Hmm.
who these two were
Hmm.
at the time that they fought over a championship,
Hmm.
it's gonna go on as like one of the greatest of all time,
Hmm. Hmm.
in my opinion.
Yes, I'm with it, 100%. I think they got inducted into a Hall of Fame for that fight already.
Fuck yes,
I believe
fuck
so.
yes. That's and unfortunately what befell of Prohaska, like I think it even means more, I think it means more now than it did then. Because I
Hmm.
mean, we thought we were going to have what is it? What did Mike Goldberg say after Machida, blasted fucking Rashad? Oh, the Machida era, or what's it? The Shogun era, like,
Hmm.
and that shit never happened. This
Hmm.
was supposed to be the era of Yuri,
Hmm.
and
Hey
Yuri
man, the
versus
good thing,
Makachev and shit.
Yuri gave up that belt so he wouldn't hold up the division.
100%.
Respect to that dude, man.
Yeah,
He's a different breed. Hey,
100%.
what did Tyson Fury say recently? I'm cut from a cloth that a cloth that a cloth.
Yeah,
Hey, that thing that he said, he is describing Yuri
yeah,
Prochaska.
yeah,
Most definitely, he's cut from a different cloth, man. He's one of a kind.
yeah. No, 100%.
One
So
hundred
speak,
percent martial artist.
yeah. So speaking of one of a kind, right? I mean, we got a lot of fucking fights that we had during 2022. But if you were just kind of putting it out there and you wanted the MMA gods to hear you, what does it look like for your anticipated fights or dream matchups in 2023?
There's so many of them. Let's start from the bottom. Let's
Not
start
for
from the
me.
bottom.
I got I only got a couple.
Yeah, little guys. Those little
Okay.
guys. Uh, I want to see Moreno and Figueredo again. Number 4. I want to see that
I
immediately.
I think we're gonna get that. That's
Good.
yeah.
I want to see. Next up, I want to see. What's that Olympian guy? The little short guy, the Olympian.
Cejudo, King of
Cejudo
Cringe.
and Aljamain. Aljamain. I want to see those two go.
Well,
Like next, I want to see them immediately.
Cejudo is back in the fucking USADA testing pool. So
Good. I want to see them go immediately.
okay.
I want to see. I want to see Connor versus Chandler. That would be a good one.
I mean, the only thing that the ink hasn't been put to paper, but I feel like the promotional marketing fucking team of the UFC is on that shit.
Good. That would be phenomenal.
Okay.
They're both great on the mic. Imagine a promo.
Yeah.
Leaving.
Oh, it's sound like Donkey Kong.
The promo is gonna be off the chain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fighters, man, if that happens, man, all you fighters take notes, man.
No, fuck. You want to be on the fucking undercard and figure out a way to shine some of that shit right back on you.
You know what I'm saying? Take notes.
Yeah.
55. I want to see Makachev versus
Uh, who is that he hasn't? I want to see him versus the what was that fight number 5 number 4 is it Sharukian.
Oh,
Sharukian.
Sarukian, Armin Sarukian.
I want him to run that back
Okay,
at 155. I'd like to see that this coming year.
okay.
Going up to 170, I want to see Edwards, of course, run it back with
Usman.
Usman first, and
Yeah.
then a non-title match with Masvidal. That's what
Oh
I
shit.
want, a grudge match between them two.
Oh shit.
I don't want a title to be on the line.
Okay. All
I
right.
want it to be a grudge match.
Fuck it. Let's make it fun.
You know
Fucking Masvidal puts his BMF.
Yeah. 185, 180.
No. Let's just.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot about the BMF belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's put that shit on the line.
That'll be a good one on the line.
We bring Rock Sassa back out, or you want to be fun? Like, fuck it. Let's do Austin.
Yeah.
So fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin coming out there with the BMF belt.
Let's go. That's right.
With his BMF vest. You remember that?
Belt, man.
Yeah. So let's do that. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So then 170.
185. I want to see Yuri. And what's that other dude that blew out his knee? Spain or something like that.
Wait, you're not talking about Bear Jew?
No, hell no. This guy's from Spain.
God, what's his fucking name? God, I know.
Ratchet.
Yeah,
I want to see them two go.
Alexander Rankic.
Yes, I want to see those two fellas. Okay. I want to see them go. Woo!
Yeah. Okay.
Man, that one will be phenomenal.
Okay.
I also want to see Glover get back in there.
Okay. Yeah.
But who would he go with? I don't know if he gets past this kid. If he can't get a takedown, he's gonna get pieced up.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't look great for Glover.
Takedown, he's gonna get pieced up, and it's gonna be something ugly. It's gonna be so ugly he'll retire.
No, I mean, he was just waiting for Brazil. Like, even if he didn't lose to Yuri, he was just holding out for Brazil. He wanted to come to Brazil as a champion. So now that he's not champion, he basically, wants to do the fucking Vern Gagne. Vern Gagne versus Nick Bockwinkel. Vern's retirement match, and
isn't that title match in Brazil? Oh, it's not.
It is now that who's the fucking champ? Is it Makachev or no?
No. We're talking about 185, right?
Okay. Whoever won the fucking
205.
Somebody just won the 205.
Nah, there was a draw.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, so and then Dana said he didn't want any more of that shit.
Yeah, he's like, nah, man.
Yeah, so that's why we're getting
if you really want the title, go get it.
Yeah. So that's why we're getting
here.
What's the boy's name?
It was pay-per-view draws.
Yeah, who's like a fucking guy's name? And it came out of left field. Because Anthony Smith got all about hurt.
His name ain't Smith. Jamal.
Yeah, Jamal Hill.
Jamal Hill, yeah.
Yeah. So it's Glover and Jamal Hill in Brazil. Yeah. And what's his name? Anthony Smith was, kind of butthurt at the fucking. Imagine, dude, like you're fucking
garbage, bro.
You know what? Honest to goodness, like,
of course, we'll pass you up,
dude. He's God. Please don't hate me, MMA peoples. But you know what Anthony Smith is becoming? The male Roxanne Modafferi.
He reminds me of the Miz, bro. Like
yes, no, 100%. He's the Miz. He's the fucking Miz.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, Miz.
Yeah. No, Mick Mac loves that. No, 100%. But yeah, like Anthony Smith is getting the fucking. He's getting the Roxanne Modafferi award of just like, being skilled but not good enough to get it done. Like because Roxanne, I don't think she ever won a title. Same thing as Smith.
He just took a whole lot of beatings.
Yeah, and Smith.
He's
Well,
been in a lot of fights.
huh?
He's been in a lot of fights.
No, 100%. But like, he's never won a title, but is on the fucking ESPN panel.
Yeah,
And that's
he
one
is.
thing that Roxanne couldn't do. So I mean, and nothing.
He is
Dude,
knowledgeable.
I'm a Roxanne fan, so don't like. I'm not. I'm not trying to shit on Roxanne Modafferi.
Yeah.
To me, she's one of the greatest of all time.
Yes.
But
Yeah. I mean, you're right.
but,
She never
but Legends Division, like
title.
Shayna Baszler, like Legends Division, when they're fucking, like fucking Jorge Masvidal can talk about like a fucking 3-piece and a soda and shit like that. No, Roxanne and Julie Kedzie and fucking Shayna Baszler,
Mhm.
those ones. Marloes Conan, they were fucking fighting for fucking 2 pieces and a fucking soda.
Yeah, that 2-piece and a soda thing really pissed me off, man.
Could not
Really
tell,
pissed
man.
me off. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's get your fucking boy. Not he's not anybody's fucking boy, but like fucking Leon Edwards. Let's get that fucking BMF and let's have some fun. That's what I'm saying.
And when we make it to that heavyweight division, that John Jones and Ngannou. I want to see.
Yeah, I feel like that's like the low key. That's the the fight that Rumble should have gotten.
Mm-hmm.
Theoretically speaking, like that's that's gonna be a hell of emotion for I know for John for sure, because that's the fight that that's the type of fight that Rumble was gonna give him, but the dimension is obviously like Rumble was never champ. Ngannou, theoretically speaking, depending on how negotiations go with the UFC, and if he doesn't already go to fucking boxing,
Mm-hmm.
he is going to be the champion going into it, theoretically speaking. So, and then Rumble didn't have the fucking wrestling shit that fucking Ngannou used on fucking Gon. Holy shit.
Yeah.
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 He looks wasted. This guy. We're, I, there you go. Dude, I got a mushroom tea here. Shout out to Space Tea. So we're fucking getting it. Space Tea sponsor this podcast. Love your shit. So yeah, so you're heavyweight. Your
Yeah.
heavyweight is Jones and Ngannou, right?
Jones, Yep.
All right.
See.
So for me, my 2023 wish list is not because I think everything else is gonna happen, but I'm fucking putting this shit out there.
Okay.
The only fights that I really want to see, honest to goodness, and this is legacy shit for me. And I think it's legacy shit for the people involved. Okay. So it all has to do with women's featherweight. You know what this is?
What you got? What you got?
It's either Kayla Harrison, who just lost to Larissa Pacheco. Now, mind you, PFL does it in seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So, fucking Kayla has already 3-time champion. So she's got $3 million in the, she won the tournament 3 times. She got 3 belts, whatever. Larissa just got this last one.
Mm-hmm.
And Larissa, I think it was the last season that she lost to whatever. So this is like, or the year before. I can't remember which, but one of the previous seasons that Kayla Harrison ended up winning both the and the $1 million. Well, basically Larissa Pacheco, avenged that loss, and now she's the 2022 PFL Women's Featherweight Champion.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not like a world recognized. That's just a season. It's a trinket. Not to say it's any less badass because the money's better, theoretically, and like whatever. A loss isn't really a loss because you just lost the tournament final versus the top in the division, right?
Mm-hmm.
So literally, it's super fights. it's either Kayla floats over to Bellator, Cyborg, Kayla Cyborg,
Okay.
or she goes to UFC, Kayla Nunes.
Kayla's whack to me, bro.
No, no, no. That's cool.
Hey,
I'm good with it.
names that you mentioned, I'd rather see the rematch between Cyborg and, and Amanda. Kayla's I don't know where she's been whacked since day one to me, bro. Like,
No, that's fine. That's fine. But again, I'm saying legacy. I'm saying legacy
ain't
for
no
all of.
Kayla's what I'm telling you, bro.
No, 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 no.
That
Kayla's a
rematch,
legit.
if we want to talk about legacy, that rematch is where it's at.
I
The
I
two
don't think
winningest
so.
women in mixed martial arts history.
I don't think so because you know what? If you're really going that, Nunes' legacy is Shevchenko.
She's beaten her too.
Mm, yeah, but
Beat her twice.
no, no. Didn't Shevchenko beat Nunes once?
Nah, she ain't never lost to Shevchenko. She's beaten Shevchenko by split decision twice.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I don't care. So it's cool because I'm just saying championship. That's what I'm talking about. Legacy, like those super fights, right? Everybody. Why was the fucking Monday Night Wars so fucking dope?
Yeah, because it was a super fight.
Right. So when fucking Hall came through the fucking crowd on Monday Nitro in fucking jeans, fucking vest, combat boots, and fucking acid wash jeans.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We thought he came from the other fucking side.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
When
didn't DS start that though when they drove through with that tank?
no,
That was afterwards.
that was after.
Okay, okay,
That was
okay,
after
okay.
because when whatever was it Hunter?
Mm-hmm.
Hunter was like it was either Hunter or Billy Gunn. That was like you, my friends are in there. Shut. I mean Scott, Kevin, like that. That was that. That's actually what made like WCW kind of look whack because like whatever. And Kevin has said that they were like right before the fucking rolling door, or whatever. They were right there,
Mm-hmm.
like Scott and fucking Kevin and like DDP. They were like right,
On
like
the
about
other
30 feet away at fucking Norfolk Scope in Virginia.
side.
So I'm just saying, but that's the reason why, right?
Yeah.
When Chandler came over, when Ferguson came over, not Ferguson, Alvarez, when Alvarez came over, even before that, Gilbert Melendez came over. You know,
Mm-hmm.
who else?
Ill Will.
Will Brooks.
Mhm.
Fucking. Who's the other one? Fuck. Shit. You could even put David Branch in
Rob
there.
Lawler.
Robbie Lawler. Even though Robert Lawler was almost day one UFC,
Right.
you could still put him. Oh,
Luke
hold on,
Rock.
that's it. No, yeah, Luke Rockhold is another one, but the one that was talking all that shit about the liberals right now. Uh,
Oh yeah, the one that just lost, right?
no, isn't it? Fucking God, he's out of Scrap Pack.
You're not talking about the guy with the camel shorts?
No, 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 no. You're talking about Bryce Mitchell. I'm talking about Scrap Pack. Diaz, Lawler. I mean, Diaz, Gilbert Melendez. Who's
Jake,
the other one? Not
Jake,
Franklin. Huh?
Jake Shields.
Shields. Shields. You remember Shields GSP?
Yes, yes, that was awesome. I
Right.
remember the commercial.
Yeah. Yeah. And walking by,
Yeah,
in the hallway.
yeah. That
So
was
that,
hard.
yeah. So again, that's what I'm talking about, right? And even when like Nunes got knocked out by fucking uh um Pena, right? And Kayla and her fucking no, because she saw the fucking dollar signs. Well, now it's even. Now it's even, and actually, because you're coming off a loss, right? So that negates the reason why you were fucking screaming, right? So now you're the one
Mhm.
right? And then
And
you got
they used to be teammates or whatever.
an American top team, right?
Mhm.
So you can make a case of obviously Nunez and Harrison, right? But I actually want. I feel like in this particular scenario, it's got to be Kayla Cyborg first, and I think especially when Kayla came over to Bellator to fight that one fight.
Mhm.
No, was it Bellator or was it Invicta?
I don't remember. I'm into her at all.
No, but they let her go over to one of the promotions. It was either Bellator or it was in Invicta.
It might have been Bellator.
Okay, right. So there's already that working relationship, right? So what I'm saying is you do March, Kayla Cyborg. Then end of the year. Fuck, let's make it fun. Fucking
Summer.
assuming Kayla gets through Cyborg, which is a big fucking if. Big fucking if. But say Kayla whatever, and theoretically has the claim, whether the title's on the line or not, has the claim to be defending lineal Bellator women's featherweight champion. And she comes over,
And the
3-time
yeah.
PFL, whatever, and it's her and Nunez. And to me, it's legacy. Each one, after this scenario plays itself out, what does Kayla have to prove? What does Cyborg have to prove? What does Nunez have to prove? You do all this shit, almost like fucking the last Undertaker and Shawn. What is it? Undertaker and Triple H fight at Mania with Shawn Michaels as a referee, right? And after the match, they all go back, raise the hand, and it's a fucking end of an era, right? And realistically, because PFL is keeping this shit open because of Kayla Harrison, keeping the women's featherweight open for Kayla Harrison, right? Bellator is keeping their featherweight open for Cyborg. UFC is keeping their featherweight division for Nunez to have another belt.
Mm-hmm.
So if you really wanted to fucking in that scenario, if women's featherweight, if featherweight MMA fighters improve in all three companies,
Mm-hmm.
then fuck it, that's it, and you kill the division.
Mm.
But before you fucking close the door on that chapter, those three fights need to happen. 3 PFLs. Cyborg puts all of her fucking titles on there. Invicta, Strikeforce, whatever. All of it. The greatest featherweight, the female combat sports athlete, right there. Fuck. If Lil Ali wants to go to 145, put her ass in there too. Let's
Mm-hmm.
do it. Let's do it for all the fucking marbles. Greatest women's featherweight of all time. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. Okay.
There it is. There it is, folks.
Mm-hmm.
So our 2023 or 2022 end of the year and what we look forward to in 2023. But you're going to get more of us in 2023.
Oh
So
yeah, we're back.
We're back. So first off, thank you all of you guys for fucking chiming in. Like literally every time we drop this shit, no matter when we do it, you guys are there for us. So thank you guys. You guys are the real MVPs. Thank you to bodyslam.net for simulcasting with us. And Voodoo, where can they find you on the socials, bro?
On the socials, man. Anywhere Voodoo Maximus is being served. It's serving Voodoo Maximus on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook page, Twitter. That's how we're rolling. That's what we're doing. Let's go.
Let's go. Where you can go with me is According to Woods, the principal podcast on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Obviously, Voodoo in the Woods, right here. Uh, and both of which can be live streamed on bodyslam.net. Go ahead and give them a subscription. So, we're doing the after 83 weeks. We're going to have more of those in the new year. Check out Eric Bischoff's book, Grateful, at ericbischoffbook.com. And then we've got the Woods and Wade podcast with me and Claudia Wade. That's going down. We're going to get our own page, but you could see that on the According to Woods pages and socials right there. And the Bods of Mayhem, which I do with the Bod John, and he's awesome. We took a look at all four Nature Boys, and we next week on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That would be what 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to take a look at the many faces of the Great Muda. So you can check that out. There's a link tree with all the stuff, so you can check that out. But for Voodoo Maximus and myself, for Voodoo in the Woods, happy 2022, and we'll see you in 2023. Peace.